Oh my gosh, video. Whoa, crazy. Voice. Whoa, insane. Anyway, here's my attempt at a theory, because I've been thinking about Glamrock Monty for days and it won't leave my mind. So I made a post on something else about this, but I knew no one was going to read it, so now I'm making a video. Wow. And no one will probably see this still. Anyway, here's why I still think that Monty destroyed Bonnie, because I've seen a lot of people say that no, he didn't, or whatever, because you guys like Monty too much. But I like Bonnie way more. Anyways, so I wrote down stuff, and this was all the evidence that I could think of as I was just going that says that Monty was the one that, decommissioned Bonnie. Whoa, I can remember words. So the claw marks, obviously, on Bonnie. The green around the claw marks. A lot of people have been saying that is paint. That's makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know why there would be paint. It's not like he was freshly painted or something. I've been saying that that is probably mold, and you'd be like, well, then why was that still Monty then? Because the mold from wet. Yes. Mold comes from when something is wet or moist, and like humidity in Monty Gulf would make sense because there is water there, and I'm pretty sure one of the only places that has water, if you're not thinking about like like a kitchen sink or something, there's literally just water in there, so it makes sense, right? Can you see my train of thought there? I hope so, because I don't know how to explain any more than that. And then there is the first game where they talk about the timestamps of where Bonnie was. Everyone has been pointing out that whole thing is kind of weird, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about the time things on there. There's a lot of time between each camera thing, but I don't know. There's the whole thing in the first game that is pointed out a lot that Monty is really violent, so that's evidence kinda, I guess, just because it's there. There's a bunch of stuff hinting at Monty hating Freddy, and I've heard a lot of people say, oh, Monty just hates Freddy because Freddy's the main one or whatever, and doesn't hate Bonnie, and so I think that Monty's trying to make his way into the spotlight slowly and less suddenly, but I know that feels like way too planned out for some animatronic, but I mean, I don't know. Anyway, people have been saying, oh, Freddy in the ride is in the dark and Bonnie's not in the dark, like he's like he doesn't like Freddy, but like Bonnie's not in the dark, he's in the light. But okay, that ride is made after Bonnie is already gone, so there he has no reason to hate on Bonnie when he's literally already dead. Like, what? And also the ride is about why Monty replaced Bonnie. That is the whole thing. This ride is the officially approved response to what to tell the kids happened to Bonnie, and so it wouldn't make sense for him, even if he did actually really hate Bonnie, it wouldn't make sense for him to put Bonnie into the dark as well, because this has to be about Bonnie whether he likes it or not. So there's also, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know about this, and I'm not sure it's real. I don't know, I question a lot of stuff that's just kind of put out there, that there's a tiny little cutout of Bonnie on the Monty ride on like at the top of like the tornado that's in there, like towards the end of the ride. It's a tiny little cutout that is like falling, like if Bonnie is in the tornado, like that seems like it's supposed to be the scene that's being set up there, but it's just weird. It's really random. You don't notice it like at all. It's really hard to see because it's like way up. I don't know what's up with that whole thing. Really weird. Anyways, moving on. So there's some things that I've been hearing other people say that I am going to respond to one by one. Monty didn't have claws until after Bonnie was decommissioned. This is one of the most annoying things that I've heard people say, because yes, he did have claws, and he got an upgrade after Bonnie was decommissioned. People have interpreted this as, oh, he got upgraded and now he has claws, but it's more of he didn't have as strong claws, and then they gave him better ones, which I'll go into more detail why that makes more sense after I answered the next thing, which is that Bonnie doesn't have claws on the body that we see, which would mean, according to other people, that the story is real, and so that's why Bonnie doesn't have the claws anymore, now Monty does. That isn't true, because a lot of people are confusing claws with nails. I'm pretty sure that the claws that they talk about are actually the endoskeleton women's hands, and that the nails have nothing to do with it, which a lot of people are getting confused, which understandably I thought that too. And then I really thought about it and I was like, that doesn't actually make any sense. So if we think about it, the people who do have claws or nails, not claws, the people that do have nails are Freddy, Roxy, and Monty, and the people who don't are Chica and Bonnie. And wouldn't you think that maybe Chica would also need stronger claws to play the guitar? And also, why would Freddy and Roxy have claws, aka nails, if they don't need them for what they're doing? That doesn't make any sense because neither of them play a stringed instrument at all. Also, if you look at the cutouts of Monty in the ride before, that are from before he was a part of the band, he already had quote unquote claws before he was a part of the band, aka nails, which means that the nails are not claws, the claws are the hands of the endoskeleton. And so Monty just got upgraded with stronger ones, because if you say he didn't have claws before, that implies that he didn't have hands before, which obviously he did. I've also heard a lot of people say, oh, Monty would have done more damage than that. That is a very weak argument. We don't know that Monty would have done more damage than that, and it really makes sense more than anything that he wouldn't have been able to do that much damage, considering he didn't have the strong claws that he has now, which is why he does so much more damage now. I mean, I think Monty was always aggressive, but the amount of damage he was able to do just was way more after he got stronger claws, obviously. And so because he still had weak claws when he attacked Bonnie, he couldn't have done as much damage to him as he could do to basically anything else now. I'm pretty sure, this is just a guess, this is a random guess, I'm just throwing it out there, that I think that the slash across Bonnie's chest was the initial attack, and then he realized, wow, I can't do that much damage. Like, I mean, you see the slash and you think it's a good amount of damage, but it's only really damaging the shell, not the actual, like, robotic parts. So I think something happened after that, maybe a chase or something. I don't know, no idea. It ended with the bowling ball, though. I think we've all agreed on that the last blow was definitely the bowling ball. Another thing people said is, why did he use the bowling ball if he could do the slash damage on the front? Which I basically just explained, is that it takes more effort to do if he were to attack Bonnie with just his claws. If you consider what I just said about it, he can only damage the shell and not the actual robot parts, which is what he needs to damage if he wants to get rid of Bonnie. So it didn't really make any sense. I think there might have been a chase. They ended up in Bonnie Bowl because, I don't know, Bonnie's trying to get away, go home, which, like, it's not really home, but you know what I mean. And so then he just used whatever was nearby during the time that he was fighting him. I don't freaking know. I'm just guessing stuff at this point, but a lot of stuff I say after this point is probably going to be mostly guessing stuff because we don't really know what happened for sure. I assume, I'm just going to point this out also, the joint damage on Bonnie was most likely to either make Bonnie slower if he was trying to run away, or just making it generally harder for the people to repair Bonnie if he was ever found. Another thing people have been saying is, why was Bonnie found in the bowling alley if they were last seen in Monty Gulf, which we can't really know the answer to that for sure. I can only take a guess, as I've been saying throughout this a few times, is that it was most likely a longer fight than Monty thought it was gonna end up, and there was some sort of chase, something like that, I would assume, because there is no way that Monty dragged Bonnie all the way back there for, like, no reason. The only reason I could think that he would do that is because, you know, it's kind of suspicious when the animatronic that you replaced in the band that they were in is found in your area. Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. The last thing that I have written down is that other people have said is that if they saw Bonnie go to Monty Gulf on the cameras, how did they not see them go back and end up, you know, back at Bonnie Bowl? Like, how did Bonnie get to Monty Gulf on the cameras and then not back on the cameras? Like, that is a bit weird. I can only assume because the cameras in this game are so weird. I'm not willing to go through the effort to actually figure that out, but if anyone is watching this and wants to try to figure it out, go ahead. I'm not putting in that effort. because if you wanted to, you could probably go into the game, look at where the cameras are, since we have access to all the cameras in the building apparently. You could look at where the cameras are and make a map of the entire place and see if there is a route from one place to the other without coming out on the cameras at all. I am not willing to go through that effort for this sort of thing. It's just a guess. There are not many cameras in the building though. If you've played the game, you know that. There's like a lot in like certain areas, and then there's other areas that there's just none at all for some reason. Really weird. So I have no idea. I think there could have been a route that they went that coincidentally there was just no cameras at all. A lot of people have been saying, I say a lot of people, this was like one person or something. I haven't seen much on this. There's a few other things that people were saying is that maybe they did and someone's covering for them, which was someone saying something about Vanny, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And now here's me going very insane and throwing out very random things. This is completely me throwing out random things. I have no evidence for anything I'm about to say. I will sound absolutely insane, and watching this back and making this video, I will probably be like, wow, that was absolutely insane in me. I hate that I said that, but I'm gonna put it in anyways, just to throw stuff out there. Anyways, the end, I don't know. I'm a Monty hater, and you guys are Monty lovers, and so we're insane in the opposite ways. You're welcome. That is my input. Goodbye. Yep. Bye. Bye. Bye.